I was sitting in the corner booth of Harry's taproom, nursing what passed for whiskey in this town, when trouble walked in. She wore high heels sharp enough to slice bread, and a trench coat at least 2 sizes too big, maybe to hide what she was carrying, or maybe just her poor taste in outerwear. Either way, she came to my table, eyes darting like she was waiting for a pie to hit her in the face.
"Are you Mast?"
She whispered. "I've answered to worse," I said, swirling the amber liquid in my glass. "Who wants to know?" She slid into the booth with all the grace of a giraffe on roller skates.
"My name's Delilah. I have a job for you. And before you ask, it's not legal."
I grinned. I'd be disappointed if it was. It was then that the atmosphere in Harry's taproom shifted, as if someone had drawn a cold blade through the air. The door swung open, its bell jangling a nervous staccato. Heads turned discreetly out of curiosity. The Barracuda paused at the threshold, tall, immaculately tailored, posture sharp as a knife's edge. His eyes, hidden behind mirrored sunglasses. The staff shrank behind the bar. He moved forward, shoes clicking on the battered floorboards. Conversations ebbed as his presence washed over the crowd, a predator's shadow across a school of unsuspecting fish. As the tension in Harry's taproom grew palpable, each step deliberate, as though he were accustomed to owning every room he entered. He halted at our booth.
"Mr. Mast, I presume?"
he intoned, his accent polished yet as cold as the North Sea.
"I find it is always prudent to introduce oneself before business commences. My associates call me the Barracuda, though I trust you appreciate the necessity for discretion."
I inclined my head, offering a smile with just enough edge to signal I was not easily intimidated. "If you're here for the drink menu, I recommend the whiskey, though I'd advise against expecting much." The Barracuda's lips formed the faintest approximation of a smile, more predatory than polite.
"Your reputation precedes you, Mr. Mast. Yet, I assure you, my interest lies far beyond spirits. You are in possession of something I require, or rather you soon will be. I propose a simple arrangement. Surrender the folder Ms. Delilah has so anxiously concealed, and I will ensure your continued comfort. Resist and, well, I detest unpleasantness in public establishments."
Delilah's hand went rigid on the folder. I met the Barracuda's gaze, steady, unflinching. I make it a rule not to hand over anything before hearing all offers. Besides, your reputation suggests you rarely take no for an answer, but I've been known to make exceptions. The Barracuda's eyes narrowed, just a fraction.
"Consider this your sole opportunity for a civil resolution, Mr. Mast. I would advise you not to squander it."
I leaned back and returned his stare with equal formality. "Then I suppose we're at an impasse, Mr. Barracuda. But I do appreciate your courtesy."
"Regrettable. I shall look forward to our next conversation, should circumstances allow it."
With that, the Barracuda turned and strode from the bar, leaving the air charged and the matter far from settled. She leaned in.
"Mast, before he comes back, and he will, I'd better tell you what you're holding."
Her gaze darted to the folder, her composure fraying at the edges.
The Sardine File isn't just leverage. It contains steamy, handwritten letters from Congressman Reginald Reggie Flapjack to Cassiopea Vonn. It's a ledger, cryptic but damning, charting every offshore transfer, every name linked to the Sardine Consortium. Politicians, financiers, even a few familiar faces from the papers. Not all of them still living.
She swallowed, glancing up as if the shadows themselves might be listening.
But there's more. On the last page, there's a code, coordinates maybe. No one's managed to crack it yet, but whoever does, well, they'll find something the Barracuda and his sort would kill for.
She wasn't shaking, exactly, but she was vibrating on a frequency reserved for malfunctioning polygraphs and Soviet telegraphs. "I hope you brought your dancing shoes. Things tend to get kinetic when someone exits that dramatically." Delilah slid a business card across the table, holographic, outdated font, and a faint smell of salt. It read, Cassiopea Vonn, confidential frequencies, celebrity, cipherist. On the back, a map fragment.
"That's where we start,"
she said.
"Cassiopea's doing a benefit concert for retired operatives. Underground venue, literal and figurative. I already booked us seats under the alias Mr. and Mrs. Bate.
Subtle. The venue was a decommissioned missile silo repurposed into a nightclub, the Fallout Lounge. Lurid lighting. Velvet seating harvested from Cold War limousines. A chandelier made from shattered encryption machines. Cassiopea Vonn emerged from behind velvet curtains in shimmering fish-scale sequins. Time hadn't dulled her allure. If anything, it sharpened it. Her voice cut through the room like a knife dipped in nostalgia. Do all espionage pop stars encrypt their choreography? Delilah smirked.
Ladies and gentlemen, spies and saboteurs, welcome back to the coldest war.
Only the ones worth chasing.
Mid-song, Cassiopeia's gaze locked onto me. She gave the smallest nod, a signal, perhaps. Or just showbiz bravado. Either way, a trapdoor near the stage popped open beneath our table. We landed in a subterranean archive, wall-to-wall cassette tapes and typewriters humming with static. Waiting for us, a robotic fish wearing a monocle and a name tag that said Albert. It blinked once, mechanically. She launched into her forgotten hit, Redacted Romance, while behind her, backup dancers in trench coats peeled away layers to reveal Morse code tattoos. I leaned toward Delilah.
Welcome.
Albert said.
Cassiopea will see you now. But first, we require proof you've decoded at least one metaphor from Congressman Flapjack's letters.
Delilah produced the folder. I pulled out a page, squinted, then recited. Your kiss triggers every launch protocol lodged in the missile silo of my longing. Albert blinked twice.
Accepted.
The trapdoor slammed shut behind us, but the velvet archive didn't remain tranquil for long. Lights flickered. Cassette decks rewound themselves. A reel-to-reel projector began playing clips of Cold War propaganda narrated by a voice oozing theatrical menace and questionable sincerity. Delilah groaned.
He's remixing the letters. If he hits the right frequencies, sleeper agents across the globe will wake up, start swing dancing in coded patterns, and spill secrets into the nearest karaoke microphone.
I frowned. Not the swing cipher. That hasn't been used since the Havana Embassy Gala incident. Then a wall opened to reveal Noodle himself, decked in a velvet military jacket bedazzled with USB epaulets, his arms raised like he was conducting an orchestra of conspiracies. Behind him skittered Spatzel, his silent sidekick, a child-sized mannequin wearing goggles and a satellite dish strapped to its back.
Welcome, listeners to Truth Source with Chancellor Noodle. I am your host, ex-propagandist General Wolfgang, Chancellor Noodle, purveyor of fact-adjacent history and audio weaponry with a dash of dill.
Ah, Herr Mast, MS Delilah. I trust your descent was theatrical. Now you will witness history.
Noodle purred. He snapped his fingers. Spatzel clicked a boombox to life, blasting a trance remix of Congressman Flapjack's steamiest metaphor.
You are the UN sanctions of my soul, the embargo to my rational thought.
I winced. That metaphor could destabilize Luxembourg. Noodle grinned.
Indeed, and when I drop the baseline beneath, I act like West Berlin at midnight. Sleeper agents from Sarasota to Sarajevo will rise and reveal every leftover sardine-stained secret they ever swallowed.
Cassiopea Vonn arrives in holographic form atop a Cold War disco ball.
Deaktivate the file.
She said.
Or you will wake the anchovy collective.
Delilah grabs the folder. I loaded a cassette into the nearest Fisher tape deck. It's time for musical combat. Cassiopea Vonn descends from a glittery platform shaped like a Soviet-era radio tower, her sequined jumpsuit flickering like an encrypted message. Chancellor Noodle twirls his USB bedazzled epaulets and adjusts his mic headset shaped like a golden wiener schnitzel. A synthesizer rises from beneath the velvet stage. The crowd, comprised of ex-operatives, confused mannequins, and one sentient vending machine, held their breath as the music began, an eerie blend of Cold War polka and Italo disco. In a smoky alto, drenched in reverb, Cassiopea Vonn began.
You check my signals through my denial. The Cold War like a government file, but still I decode you. Our dossiers kissed like in vodka and milk.
Then Chancellor Noodle in an overconfident baritone, laced with irony. Together they harmonized as they circle each other like chess pieces and stilettos.
Love laced with ladder to secrets. Masking platitude, your kiss my Cold War latitude. Let's activate love attitude. Love laced with ladder to secrets. Masking platitude, your kiss my Cold War latitude. Let's activate love attitude.
Duet concludes with a shared note that sends a shockwave through the velvet bunker, revealing a hidden vault labeled, for use only in case of glamorous espionage emergency. The velvet-lined walls hiss apart with hydraulic drama, revealing its contents curated for only the strangest espionage emergencies. A cassette tape labeled in glitter ink and Cold War Cyrillic Operation Lip Sync. The tape contains a forbidden anthem whose rhythm causes involuntary confessions if danced to while chewing bubble gum. A disco ball surveillance drone that looks ordinary until activated, then begins scanning dance moves for encrypted Morse code, which was last used in 1983 at the Reykjavik Summit afterparty, and still holds footage of Reagan doing the electric slide, redacted. An agent cosplay emergency kit which contains fake mustaches with microfilm curls, trench coats with detachable escape flaps, and cologne that smells like plausible deniability. Spatzel's True Directive chip, embedded in a bratwurst-shaped dongle. When inserted into a boombox and played backward, it reveals Spatzel's tragic past as a Bavarian folk dancer turned sleeper agent. Activated phrase, Sauerkraut Symphony, Allegro Espionage. And finally the original Sardine File, uncut edition, bound in waterproof lame and sealed with lipstick. That includes Congressman Flapjack's final letter, "Your love detonates like unapproved funding." That's a new cipher. Delilah cried out it can only be unlocked by a karaoke duet in E minor while wearing sequins. Cassiopea turned to us.
It's all here.
She said, eyes gleaming.
The sabotage song, the sleeper so violence, even my old platform heals.
I lifted the final cassette labeled Endgame Encore. Only one way to know what it does, I said. Delilah pulled out a Fisher tape deck.
Let's hope it doesn't trigger the Anchovy Collective.
Suddenly Cassiopea shouted out,
Wait.
her eyes glowing with encrypted urgency.
TV traced the do it.
She warned.
Noodles podcast reachet the CIA at Langley. Spätzles last transmission was intercepted. You have 9 minutes.
I squinted at the vault ceiling. Any chance this place has a less dramatic exit? Delilah ran fingers along a wall of Cold War memorabilia and tapped a framed photo of a sardine salesman shaking hands with Nixon. Click. The frame rotated, revealing a spiral staircase made of umbrella handles. We climbed in silence, save for Delilah muttering lyrics from redacted romance to herself like a calming mantra. We emerged inside a full luxury meat locker labeled Freedom Chow Storage Unit number 17. Agent Crumple, a man so rigid his tie could slice cheese.
Mast, we're compromised.
I looked skeptical. You CIA or just really into sudden pickups? Crumple flashed his badge, half-burnt, laminated over a Chuck E. Cheese VIP card.
I'm your extraction. Vonn cashed in one favor. You get safe house lodging, surveillance-free omelets, and 7 hours until Noodle's next broadcast.
The safe house looked like someone Googled minimalist patriotism and gave up halfway. Fluorescent lighting. Foldable furniture. A suspiciously friendly Roomba with a tattoo that read "Trust No Floor." I paced. This place smells like expired freedom. Delilah opened the minibar labeled low-profile liquor and emotional suppressants. She clinked a mini bottle of vodka against my glass of water.
to surviving sequins and subliminal swing music.
Cassiopeia's voice crackled through a toast-shaped communication tablet.
Coordinates to Vienna are uploading. Noodles preparing HIS live cipher drop a Schnitzeltee mit Opera House. You will need disguises, dance moves, and diplomatic immunity in Sri Languages.
I groaned. Can I at least nap first? Delilah threw him a sequin eye mask.
Only if you hum in E minor.
The Vienna Opera House was reborn as Haus der Harmonie and Hering, host of the Swing Cipher Symposium and Schnitzel Gala. Beneath chandeliers fashioned from repurposed radar dishes, tuxedo diplomats danced to orchestral swing remixes of Cassiopea Vonn's greatest hits. I settled into my new spray-on face. Thanks to Agent Crumple's CIA instant disguise kit, Delilah, radiant in a sequin gown camouflaging microphone pockets, scanned the crowd. She murmured. I nodded. Let's just hope it doesn't scream it in Morse code. Hidden within Delilah's clutch purse was the Sardine File, wrapped in aluminum and poetic regret. Noodle's final remix would debut at midnight, using Cassiopeia's lyrics, Spatzel's Bratwurst-based acoustics, and a Soviet-era soundboard concealed inside an antique accordion. Suddenly, Delilah pirouetted out of nowhere. She yanked me behind the stage curtain.
Time to improvise a finale.
She said. Backstage, Cassiopeia's backup band was mid-rehearsal. Delilah shoved the Sardine File into the malfunctioning soundboard.
We overload it with melodrama.
She said.
Turn it into an anthem so powerful it short-circuits the entire broadcast.
Cassiopeia's hologram appeared mid-fade.
I know it would end with music.
I grabbed a mic and sang, My love leaked secrets, your code kiss decay, this ballad collapses, the Cold War ballet. With the final note, the soundboard erupted in glittery sparks. The screen showing Noodle's remix just fizzled to static. The encrypted rhythms died, and sleeper agents everywhere resumed their hobbies, knitting, cheese tasting, amateur fencing. The Sardine File burned away, curling like a love letter in reverse. Spatzel was found mid-audience, gently weeping into a bowl of sauerkraut. Cassiopeia left the stage riding a disco drone, tossing sequins like diplomatic immunity. And me? I finally opened Subterfuge, the piano bar for retired operatives and emotionally stable spies. Delilah sang on opening night. We didn't save the world, just restored its weird balance. Months after Vienna's velvet eruption, the world quieted, less paranoid, more melodic. My piano bar, Subterfuge, sat tucked in a former embassy lounge, where cocktails came with coasters labeled Top Shelf, Top Secret. The jukebox only accepted cassette tapes, and every Tuesday was disguised karaoke night. Delilah became the resident chanteuse, specializing in operatic ballads that may or may not contain encrypted lullabies. Cassiopea Vonn headlined opening night before disappearing again, rumored to be collaborating on a synth-pop album with a defector from Monaco. Spatzel, once bratwurst assassin, now delivered sausages and existential advice from a food cart parked outside the bar. No one trusted him, but he had incredible mustard. As for the Sardine File, reduced to glittery ashes, scattered into the Danube beneath a mirrored disco shoe. I stood behind the mahogany bar at Subterfuge, polishing a martini shaker engraved with classified but shaken. The world had been saved, the file flambéed, and the band was playing a jazz rendition of redacted romance in B minor. I took a long sip of his whiskey, stared at the glitter still embedded in my trench coat, and muttered, if saving the world means dressing like a diplomat and dancing like a fool, then I guess I'm overdue for a wardrobe change. Then I winked at Delilah, hit the jukebox, and slipped back into the shadows, just another retired spy with sequins in his soul.